In a quiet town in the heart of America, young Ethan Carter was waking up to a new day. Sunlight streamed through the curtains, gently rousing the aspiring guitarist. Ethan leaped out of bed, grabbed his beloved guitar, and began his daily practice. This guitar had been with him for years, and every note he played reflected his deep love and passion for music. Since he was a child, Ethan had dreamed of becoming a rock star. His bedroom walls were plastered with posters of Queen, Led Zeppelin, and the Rolling Stones, bands he idolized. Every time he strummed his guitar, he felt like he was transported into a world full of passion and energy. In the small town, Ethan often performed at local bars and small music festivals. His performances always attracted a loyal crowd, people who were captivated by his musical talent. However, Ethan knew that these small venues could not satisfy his musical ambitions. He dreamed of performing on the big stages in a major city, where his music could reach a wider audience. One summer evening, Ethan and his friends decided to form a band, naming it Electric Fire. The drummer, Ryan, was Ethan's childhood friend, full of energy and rhythm. The bassist, Lucas, was a quiet musical genius who expressed himself through his deep, resonant bass lines. The keyboardist, Olivia, was a creative girl whose melodies always brought new inspiration to the band. The four of them practiced in Ethan's garage, dreaming of the day they would perform on a grand stage. That night, Ethan and the band performed at the local bar. The bar was packed with people, all eagerly awaiting the show. As Ethan struck the first chord, the entire bar fell silent, everyone engrossed in the music. Ryan's drumming was powerful. Lucas's bass lines were deep and strong. Olivia's keyboard melodies were vibrant and beautiful, and Ethan's guitar was the soul of the band. After their performance, a stranger walked into the bar. He was simply dressed, but exuded an air of confidence. This was Jake Miller, a renowned music producer. Jake had been drawn by Ethan's talent and approached them, expressing his interest in discussing their future. "Your performance was amazing," Jake said. "I see a lot of potential in you guys. I'm Jake Miller, and I'd like to give you an opportunity to bring your music to a bigger stage." Ethan and his friends could hardly believe their ears. This was the opportunity they had been dreaming of. In that moment, Ethan knew his dream was beginning to come true. They excitedly accepted Jake's offer and started planning their next steps. Ethan Carter and his band, Electric Fire, set off for New York City with the support and guidance of Jake Miller. New York, the city that never sleeps, was a dream destination for countless musicians. The hustle and bustle of the city stood in stark contrast to the tranquility of their small town. But Ethan and his friends were filled with anticipation for the future. Under Jake's arrangement, Electric Fire began to make a name for themselves in New York's underground music scene. They performed frequently at various music clubs and bars, attracting more and more audiences each time. Ethan's guitar skills and his passionate performances always ignited the crowd's enthusiasm. Ryan's drumming was like a heartbeat, driving the band's rhythm. Lucas's bass lines were solid and deep, while Olivia's keyboard melodies added a unique touch to the band's sound. One night, their performance at a famous underground music club was a massive success. The audience was deeply captivated by their music, and when the performance ended, the venue erupted in thunderous applause. Jake watched them with a satisfied smile and said, "You guys are ready for bigger challenges." With Jake's help, Electric Fire started recording their first album, titled Spark. The recording process was full of challenges and hardships, but every note they played was infused with their passion and hard work. Ethan and the band members worked day and night, striving for perfect sound quality and effect. They knew this album wasn't just the beginning of their music careers. It was a reflection of their dreams. Finally, Spark was released. The album performed well on the independent music charts, quickly amassing a loyal fan base. Ethan and his friends felt the joy of success, but at the same time, tensions within the band began to rise. As success came, disagreements between Ethan and drummer Ryan grew more frequent. Ethan wanted the band to explore different musical styles, while Ryan insisted on sticking to their original rock sound. They often clashed in the rehearsal room, and the atmosphere became increasingly tense. "Ethan, you can't keep changing our style like this. It's going to confuse our fans," Ryan exclaimed angrily. "But we can't stand still either. Music needs innovation, or we'll just be left behind," Ethan retorted. Lucas and Olivia tried to mediate, but their efforts seemed futile. The growing tension within the band started to affect their creativity and performances. Despite these challenges, Electric Fire continued to achieve success in the music scene. Ethan poured all his energy into each performance, as if releasing the inner pressure and conflict. The audience was drawn to his passion and talent, unaware of the struggles he faced off stage. As time passed, Ethan realized he needed to find a way to resolve the conflict with Ryan, or the band might fall apart. He understood that music wasn't just his dream. It was a shared belief and pursuit with his friends. He decided to sit down with Ryan, open his heart, and try to find a balance so their musical journey could continue. Electric Fire's success swept through New York's music scene like a whirlwind. The band's name frequently appeared on the lineups of major music festivals and clubs. Media coverage, fan enthusiasm, and endless invitations poured in. Ethan Carter and his bandmates basked in unprecedented fame under the spotlight. However, behind the glow, an immense pressure and temptation lurked. Ethan felt the weight of success pressing down on him. The demands of creating music, organizing performances, and handling media interviews left him nearly breathless. He began seeking an escape, and alcohol became his refuge. Party after party, celebration after celebration, Ethan gradually lost himself. "Come on, have a drink. This is what success tastes like," a friend urged him at one of the celebrations. Ethan raised his glass and drank the liquid that temporarily made him forget his worries. Little did he know, each sip was dragging him deeper into a dark abyss. Ethan's personal life started to severely affect the band's performance. He was often late or absent from rehearsals. His state of mind deteriorated, and his creative inspiration dwindled. The band members grew increasingly frustrated with his behavior, especially Ryan. Their arguments became more frequent, and the tension within the band intensified. "Ethan, you can't go on like this," Ryan shouted angrily at Ethan. "You're the core of this band, but right now, you're a disaster." Ethan hung his head, unable to respond. He knew he had problems, but felt powerless to change. The numbing effect of alcohol allowed him to escape reality temporarily, but it also dragged him deeper into despair. The crisis finally erupted during an important performance. It was a major music festival in the heart of New York City, and the audience eagerly awaited Electric Fire's performance. However, Ethan had gotten drunk at a party before the show. As he stumbled onto the stage, the band and the audience were shocked. Ethan struggled to start playing, but his fingers couldn't move nimbly on the guitar strings. The sound was disorganized and chaotic. The audience began to boo, and the band members were at a loss. Eventually, the performance ended in a complete mess. The next day, the media exploded with reports of the disastrous show. Newspapers and websites were abuzz with talk of Ethan's drinking problem and the scandal. Electric Fire's reputation plummeted, and fans began to lose faith in them. Ryan couldn't tolerate the situation any longer and decided to leave the band. After one rehearsal, he told Ethan, "I can't do this anymore. You're not the person you used to be." I have to think about my own future." Ethan watched Ryan walk away, feeling immense pain and guilt. The band was on the verge of disbanding, and their former glory seemed to vanish in an instant. Ethan knew he had to confront his issues, or he would not only lose the band, but also his dream. Ethan Carter stood on a bridge in New York, gazing at the twinkling stars in the night sky. He realized he had hit rock bottom, but he also knew that only by rising again could he truly achieve his dreams. With this determination, he embarked on his path to rebirth. Back at home, Ethan received unconditional support from his family and friends. His mother, Mary, stayed by his side every day, encouraging him to quit drinking and regain his confidence. Lucas and Olivia never gave up on him, believing that Ethan was still the talented and passionate musician they knew. "Ethan, you have to believe in yourself. We're all here for you," Lucas said firmly. "We've been through so much together, and we can get through this too," Olivia added gently. With the help of his friends and family, Ethan began his journey to sobriety. The initial days were incredibly tough, filled with anxiety and pain. But whenever he felt like giving up, his friends were always there to offer strength and support. As time passed, Ethan gradually overcame his dependence on alcohol, and his mindset began to change positively. One day, Ethan decided to visit Ryan. He knew that to rebuild the band, he first needed to mend his relationship with Ryan. Standing at Ryan's door, Ethan took a deep breath and knocked. Ryan opened the door, his expression a mix of emotions. "Ethan, what are you doing here?" "Ryan, I know I've made a lot of mistakes, but I'm really trying to change now. I hope we can start over, for the sake of the music and our dreams," Ethan said sincerely. Ryan was silent for a moment, then sighed. "Ethan, I don't want our friendship and the band to end like this. Let's give it another try." And so, Ethan and Ryan shook hands, agreeing to rebuild Electric Fire. They gathered with Lucas and Olivia and began creating new music. Although the process was challenging, they all felt a renewed passion and inspiration. After months of hard work, the band created a brand new single titled Phoenix. This song was filled with hope and the meaning of rebirth, symbolizing their determination and courage to rise from the ashes. Ethan's guitar melodies were powerful, Ryan's drumming was steady and strong, Lucas's bass lines were deeply moving, and Olivia's keyboard added a dreamy touch to the entire song. When Phoenix was released, it immediately garnered widespread attention and acclaim. Media and fans praised the song's depth and emotion, and Electric Fire once again became a notable presence in the music industry. Ethan and his friends stood on stage, looking at the audience below, feeling a long-lost sense of achievement and satisfaction. At a major music festival, Electric Fire was set to perform as the headlining band. Standing in the spotlight, Ethan felt a surge of emotions. He took a deep breath and began to play the first chord of Phoenix. As the music resonated through the venue, the crowd erupted in cheers, completely immersed in their performance. The journey of Electric Fire's rebirth finally culminated in the most important moment of their lives. They were invited to perform at America's biggest music festival, the Starlight Music Festival. This was the dream stage for every musician, and it was the perfect opportunity for them to reclaim their glory. On the day of the festival, thousands of spectators gathered at the venue. Music lovers from all over the country flocked to the event. The stage was lavishly decorated, the lights flickered brilliantly, and the atmosphere was electric. Ethan Carter and his bandmates stood backstage, feeling both nervous and excited. "This is our most important performance. Is everyone ready?" Ethan asked his friends, his voice firm. "Of course, Ethan. We've been waiting for this day," Ryan said with a smile, patting Ethan on the shoulder. "Let's light up this night with our music," Lucas said, raising his fist, full of determination. "We're going to make magic together," Olivia said, her eyes sparkling with excitement. When the host announced Electric Fire's name, the crowd erupted into applause and cheers. Ethan took a deep breath and led the band onto the stage. The spotlight shone on them, and the audience's eyes were filled with anticipation and excitement. Ethan picked up his guitar and strummed the first chord of Phoenix. As the music began, the entire venue came alive. Ethan's guitar playing was filled with passion and power, each note telling the story of their struggles and rebirth. Ryan's drumming was steady and strong. Lucas's bass lines were deep and moving, and Olivia's keyboard melodies were dreamlike, adding a touch of mystique to the song. The audience was deeply captivated by their performance, cheering and jumping to the rhythm of the music. Ethan stood at the center of the stage, feeling the audience's enthusiasm and support. His heart was filled with gratitude and fulfillment. The atmosphere of the festival reached its peak as Electric Fire set the night ablaze with their music. When the performance ended, the audience erupted into thunderous applause and cheers. Ethan and his bandmates stood on the stage, bowing to the audience in gratitude. They knew that this moment was not only their pinnacle, but also the best reward for their persistence and hard work. After the show, the band celebrated the unforgettable night backstage. Ethan looked at his friends, feeling an immense sense of pride and happiness. "We did it, everyone," Ethan said, raising a glass of champagne with a smile. "This is our victory," Ryan responded, raising his glass. "We've made magic together," Lucas said, smiling as he clinked glasses with the others. "This is just the beginning. We'll keep moving forward," Olivia said, her eyes shining with determination. That night, Ethan and his friends celebrated in the world of music. They knew that no matter how difficult the road ahead might be, as long as they persisted and worked hard, they would reach their moments of glory.